How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Flaming. We're back with another, I was going to say FPL, FIFA live stream. Today, the title of the video and stream is back-to-back semis. We have a semi-final in the FA Cup versus Wolves, and we managed to dodge a bullet there because City and Liverpool are in the other semi-final, so that should be interesting. And we have both our legs versus Atalanta in the Champions League. So we got pretty lucky there too, because Real Madrid played Bayern Munich on the other side of the bracket in that one as well. So we're going to be playing both sets of those and a couple of league games, and we'll have 4 remaining games at the end tomorrow, which should be the Champions League final, the FA Cup final, and the last 2 games, assuming that we win our ties versus Wolves and Atalanta. So fingers crossed, hopefully we can get that one done through as well. If you haven't done so already, make sure to follow us here on the stream. This is where we'll be doing our FPL streams starting and continuing on from how we did last season. We post the videos obviously over on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe over there. And we got a big announcement coming for you, and you'll see it at the end, hopefully, of tomorrow's stream. If not, I'll announce it in the first FPL video that I do. But yeah, you'll know it when you see it. It's a very cool little thing that we're gonna give you guys, the viewers, and help you out in your FPL season in this coming season. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right, so this is the games that we have up and running. So this is what we got here. I'm just gonna move this down a little bit. That's probably better. Right, so we have the FA Cup semi-final to start, the away leg. There we go. Then we have a home game versus Fulham, which will probably rest some players in, hopefully. Then we have the home leg versus Atalanta, and then the home leg, a home game versus Leeds United. So we have a press conference to do right off the bat, so let's get into it. Do you think the venue for the game can have a bearing on the result? I mean, it's Wembley, innit? It's Wembley! We're the famous Man United and we're going to Wembley. Oh, I should have had my green screen thing prepared. Maybe I can switch to it. My webcam, did I set up my webcam for it? I can't remember. Let's find out. You guys can still hear me. But I don't have the camera on, but this would be the cool little green screen action, but I didn't set it up properly, so unfortunate. But hopefully we can get it for next time. Hey Callum, how's it going? Love the content, Thank you so much, and thank you for the follow as well. Righty ho. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty stuff here. Let me just put the music up just a little bit. Right. We always respect our opponents. That's what we'll tell them. I think there's more to come. That's what I'll say. But yeah, you're going to be loving the content even more starting next week because we have some FPL videos starting for the 2021-2022 season. I'm excited. So it's going to be fun. So we're going to play our best team. Who do they have? Patricio, Semedo, Bali, Saiz, Cody, Johnny, Neves, Matinho, Traore, Jimenez, Podence. Sounds about right to me. We could probably go full strength against a back three. Maybe we want to go 4-4-2. Or do we just stick with tried and tested? Let's see. Who do we have available? Maybe we start Martial up front. We'll go with Greenwood because I think Greenwood. Actually, no. We'll play Cavani. We'll play Cavani and Greenwood. We'll just play our best 11. We'll play our best 11. I should have played Dean Henderson though. Right. Here we go. Wembley. Semi-final of the FA Cup. We got the easy draw. We gotta be making it to the final. Right. Let's knock the ball around a little bit. See if we can pull Wolves out of their shape. Nice little quick one-touch passing right off the bat. Here's Cavani. Ooh, just got pushed off it there by, I believe it was Ruben Neves. It was. He switched it out wide, looking for Adama Traore. This is going to be difficult because at this point during the season, Jimenez was fully into his recovery. Paul Pogba potentially at the back post, or is that Marcus Rashford? Ooh, they've headed it over the bar. Out of play. But they have Jimenez, who's a big need for them, because he is what makes them tick. Here's Maguire. Ball to Greenwood. Maybe just going to recycle this a little bit. Ball played over to Paul Pogba. He's going to have a quick shot. Saved by the goalkeeper. A bit tame, that. But early sighting from Paul Pogba. This is where we want to get the ball. Quick into feet. Quick into feet. Here we go. Slipping Paul Pogba. Left-footed shot. 1-0 United. There we go. Paul Pogba. He scored a few in the last couple of games. And he's done well. He's done well. We love United. We do. 1-0. Great start. Now we're going to have to manage the game a little bit because we do have Atalanta in the first leg. And we don't want to be having to rotate heavily in that. If we don't have to. So maybe I should have probably played Dean Henderson. I should just have a cup goalkeeper and stick to it. I keep forgetting. I do have a cup team sheet saved though, but it's like the completely rotated team. Luke Shaw wins it back. Paul Pogba plays it quickly into Fred. This is what we like to see. Quick passing into Bruno Fernandes, who finds Paul Pogba, who's swiveled around. Played in Luke Shaw. He's going to see if he can find the cutback for Fernandes. 2-0. Great movement there by Fernandes in the box. Watch him peel off the defender. He makes the run towards the near post and then peels off. Great striker's instinct. Playing in the number 10 role. So he bursts towards the box. Bolly takes a check over his shoulder. Doesn't see Fernandes. And then he finds the back of the net by dropping off and getting the cutback from Luke Shaw. 2-0. Great start. Wolves. Back three. Is not doing well. They may have a lot of men in position, but if they still don't pick up a man or are in the right space, they can be in a lot of trouble. Here's Cavani. He's going to slip in Fernandez. Ooh, great save. Pogba's there. Is he going to get the header on the ball? Nope, it's going to be cleared. Rashford has it, though, into Luke Shaw. He's going to play it into Fernandez. Tried to find Rashford, who was making his way centrally. And we're all over Wolves here. Into Paul Pogba. Into Cavani, who hits on the turn, has a shot. Blocked off Marcus Rashford. Can't get there, and I believe he's offside. Yeah, he is offside. Bit unfortunate there. Ball won back quickly. Here is Greenwood. Great little bit of skill there. Fernandez going to have a shot from outside the box. Patricio makes the save. He's definitely not happy with his defenders. Cavani could be in here. Ooh. Got in front of the defender. Just hit it over the bar. This is exactly what you want in a cup final. Get the nerves out of the way. Get on the score sheet early. Followed up with another one and then go into cruise control. Here's Cavani. He's made his way into the box. Can he play a pass across? He's played it to Bruno. Oh, Bruno's tripped on Pogba. We're very fortunate for that ball to go all the way through, but when it did, Bruno looked like he tripped on his teammate. And Love with a great interception there. Here's Cavani. Cavani finds Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba just showed it a bit too much to the defender there. I believe that was Roman Saiz. Semedo looking long for Traore. He's the pace merchant. He's the one who's going to make something happen, although he hasn't touched the ball much. I don't even think Jimenez has even touched the ball once. Here's Podence. There's Jimenez's first touch, and this is how how dangerous he is. Blocked off by Luke Shaw. And Cavani. Oh, that's a poor through ball. Poor through ball. Coutinho blocked off by Maguire. Good bit of defending. Here's Cavani. Finds Mason Greenwood. Paul Pogba could be in at the back post. Ooh, just blocked off Willy Bolly with some great defending there and kept it in as well. Coutinho dilly-dallying on the ball. Rashford. Cavani. Ooh, good save. Patricio questioning his defense again. Paul Pogba in the air. I think that was hit out for another corner. Maybe try something a little bit different. Let's go short. To Greenwood. Swings in across. Rashford. Ooh, that wasn't far, you know. That wasn't far. Just wide of the post. Good contact on the ball. Two things you're looking for in a corner. Good delivery. Oh, United's in here. Pogba. Oh, that's another great save. Or three things, sorry, on a corner. Good delivery. Good contact. Hit the target. If you can do that, you're in for a shout. Great save, Patricio. Whipped in by Bruno. It's good delivery. Just didn't get there, though. Ball still in, though. Fred's made a muck of that. Here's Jimenez. Masaka's gone in. Oh, he's probably going to get booked for that. Won the ball back, though. Referee didn't play the advantage. Ooh, tried a little reverse ball to Rashford. Here's Traore. Oh, he skinned past Maguire. Traore's fast. He's real fast. Get a bit overzealous with the slide tackle sometimes. Oh, giving the ball away. Can't be giving the ball away cheaply here. Maguire. Blocked off. Good stuff. That should be half-time. It is. Somebody's going to get booked, I think. Can't remember who it is. But they should be getting booked. Chopping down Jimenez. It's 0-0 in the Liverpool City game. It was Wan-Bissaka. Yeah. Expected that. Right. Here we go. Second half, Wan-Bissaka on a yellow. Just means he's Super Saiyan. He's a Super Saiyan. He's going to be flying into tackles and it won't matter. Just like that, see? No nonsense. Here's Greenwood. He's picked out Fred. Good pass. Fred finds Cavani. He finds Pogba. Slips in Rashford. Whips in an early ball to Cavani at the back post. And it's acrobatically kicked away by Willy Bolly. Great defensive work there. One back by Maguire. Now Fred. Pogba into Cavani. That's a bad ball there. Apparently Lamella's on the move. Apparently. I wish there was a way to turn off both transfer windows, the winter and the summer one. So you can play the full season with the current set of players. That'd be nice. Cavani misplaced pass there. Maybe it's time to bring on a bit more pace. So we can get in behind, because Wolves are going to be pushing men up the field. Fred's played a lovely ball into Shaw. Who's found Paul Pogba. Who's tried to find Cavani. Can't get there though. Here is Traore. Matinho has a lot of time to pick out his spot. And Johnny Otto's offside. Actually, we're going to change up the system. We're going to go man to man with Wolves. We'll go. Where's 3-4-3? Actually, we'll go 3-5-2. We'll put Rashford out on the left. Put Fernandez in here. Shaw will go left-sided centre-back. We'll take off Wan-Bissaka for Dan James. Dan James will swap with Greenwood. We'll put Pogba in the deeper role. And then we'll take off Greenwood and we'll bring on McTominay. That looks about right. Let's run that formation. That looks a bit interesting. Clog up the middle. Let Traore go in for the cross, because if he goes down the wing and he whips a ball in, we're going to head it away every time, so it's fine. And we're just going to hit on the counter. Gonna have Rashford skip past people here. Got lucky there. Bruno Fernandes, great save by the goalkeeper, Dan James. Paul Pogba, shielding in and around the box. Cavani needs some support here. Shielding it off, plays it back to Fred. McTominay, quickly into the feet of Fernandes, who fires off a quick shot, and it's saved by Patricio again. Ball is whipped in. Here's Cavani. There's a decent delivery. There's Victor Lindelof, plays it back down the line to Fernandes, who's had the ball taken off him by Podence. Here's Traore. Red's cleaned him out there. Johnny Otto's coming off now. Nuri has come on. And James has won it back here. Good bit of pace there. Good little switch. Sees Fred. Got a lot of players centrally here, so we can really find some passes here. Ooh, Pogba tried a little neat pass there. I like the enthusiasm. I like the dynamism. The uncertainty. Coutinho's come off now. Pellegrini. The Pellegrini from Roma. Potentially. His name's Lorenzo. Lorenzo Pellegrini. He's a good player. Plays in like the number 10 role, so it's understandable that he is coming on for Matinho, who would be their kind of most forward-thinking midfielder, I would think. Blocked off by Fred. Oh, Wolves got him behind there. Great save, De Gea. Wolves get one. Then they're back in it. Great header across, and there's the one. And there's the man, Raul Jimenez. Gotta be a bit more conservative with the ball. And that's definitely not the word conservative. Oh, it's a terrible touch, Cavani. Traore. Pence is in the channel now. Ball played way across. Semedo. Oh, that was extremely close. Who was that? Pence at the back post? Cavani could be in here. Cavani! He's onside. That should do it. Semi-final at Wembley should be all sewn up now. Cavani's knackered. But we'll leave him out there because we'll start Martial versus Atalanta. Because Atalanta will give us space. Cavani's movement is what we need versus Wolves, or what we needed versus Wolves. Man United, 20 times, I say. I realized the problem with this formation, and it's that a lot of players clump up at the front line on the last line of their defense, which all in the central areas within like 5 yards of each other, which is not what you want. Hey, Pickle, how's it going? Oh, hello. We could be in here. Make the run, Cavani. Ooh, couldn't feed it through. That should do it, though. That should be it, ref. Semi-final of the FA Cup secured. We've completed that. Now we're on to the final. Glad that you're doing good. I'm doing good as well. We've just made it to the final of the FA Cup. That was the semi-final at Wembley. So, title of the stream. Back-to-back semi-finals. We got Atalanta in 2 legs. Coming up. The first one is next. We're away in Italy. Favorite club? The one I'm playing, Manchester United. Thought I'd do a career mode to see if I can beat Solskjaer. We'll do a post-match interview. And Liverpool won. So we're going to be playing Liverpool in the FA Cup final. We're going to be playing Liverpool in the FA Cup final. Mine is Liverpool, so I'm going to be playing your team next episode. So I usually play around four games. We're doing 5 this episode because we'll have 4 left. We're going to be playing Liverpool in the FA Cup final. So, and we're fighting with them in the league too, so could be interesting. I'm on Legendary. Is there anything hard? I remember them saying they were introducing a new difficulty mode, but I don't know if there is. I just put it on. I had it on World Class initially because I wasn't very good at FIFA. And then turns out I was okay. I was playing alright. I was like, World Class is too easy. Maybe it's because United's team is really good on FIFA. Put up to legendary. Liverpool smacked me 4-2, so I was really like kind of demoralized by that. I was like, no, we'll stick with it. Let's go with it. And then from episode 3 onwards, we kept it at kept it on legendary, and yeah, we've done well. We've done well. We won the Carabao Cup, which is nice. We had to play Everton, I think, in the final, but we had to beat City on the way to do it. I think we had to beat City and Arsenal. I think we got Arsenal third round, City quarterfinals. What do you think about the transfer? I don't remember who's coming to Man United. Oh, Jadon Sancho. I think Jadon Sancho is going to be pretty good. But we have to remember that he is 21. So he is young. So he's not going to be like Fernandes probably. He's going to have to adjust to the Premier League. But I think he's a good enough player to whereas he'll be flying. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think Liverpool getting their main guys back in their proper position is a big plus for them. So like getting Van Dijk back, getting Fabinho into the midfield on a full-time basis, you know, that is what they need. We want to make our fans happy. I've heard some rumors about Mbappe coming to Liverpool. I think that's just a Nike to Nike thing. But who knows? It'd be very difficult for Liverpool to do that kind of deal because of the amount of money you're looking at. I don't know when Mbappe's contract runs out. I want to say it's at least a couple years. I can check that for you actually. Mbappe. When's Mbappe's contract run out? Ooh, his contract actually runs out next year. His contract actually runs out next year. Interesting. I did not know that. I think there's more to come. Also, that music you heard came from the Transfermarkt site, so. Liverpool offered 100 mil plus in Mane, I think. So you're looking at 180 mil for a guy who's going to be on a free next year? I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me change up the team here. We'll swap out De Gea and put in Henderson. We'll put Martial in. We'll put Telles in. Dan James will come in. I'm actually going to go 4-4-2, I think. 4-4-2 holding. We'll go Martial. I think I'm going to put Rashford up front with Martial. I'll play Greenwood on the right. And James on the left. And we'll put Pogba, we'll keep Pogba in reserve. And we'll play McTominay. We'll just use Bruno as a deep lying playmaker. Pogba had a bit more gas on him. I think we could go with that, but yeah, that looks fine. Because they're gonna have space in behind. They're gonna try to attack us. So we'll just sit back, 4-4-2, hit them on the counter. That's what we'll do. Imagine if Coutinho comes back. I think Coutinho. With Coutinho, it's a bit on the weird side because I think he is somebody who I don't see coming back to Liverpool. I mean, United was linked with him briefly, but I don't see him coming back to Liverpool. I think that ship's kind of sailed. And I think he doesn't really fit in Klopp's system. I think that's why he was initially sold in the first place. Like with Klopp, you want 3 players that press from the front. You want a very functional midfield. Whereas Coutinho is kind of like a number 10/luxury kind of player. He's like that kind of like that maverick type of player that, you know, that doesn't really want to play off a flank. He wants to kind of play in the middle and kind of maneuver around and kind of have a free roll. Thank you for not subscribing, following, Pickle. I think he wants to be in a more of a free roll. But yeah, here's the Champions League. So we went 5-5 with Inter. We lost in the second game, but we went through on away goals. So, which obviously as of next year, we will be not having away goals. So. But yeah, I don't think Coutinho's type of thing. I think Mbappe fits your team perfectly, though. I think Mbappe is exactly what you want. The only thing he'll need to kind of learn how to do is pressing. Like his defensive attributes will probably need to increase if he wants to play in the Liverpool team, because Salah presses, Mane presses, and they do it really well. And they're also Mane, as much as he goes to ground, and Salah, as much as he goes around, they're very balanced on their feet, and they're very kind of strong when they need to be. So Mbappe will have to kind of learn those traits. Do we know when the next season's starting? So the first game, I believe, you have to check the calendar for me to get this right, but I think it's August 13th or 14th. It's one of those two, whichever one the Friday is. Arsenal plays Brentford on the first day of the season on the Friday, and then there's some games on Saturday and Sunday. But right out the gate, the juiciest one is City plays Spurs. Now, here we go. This is where we want to hear. We got Greenwood into McTominay, quickly into Martial, Rashford through the middle. Here we go. Here's the pace. Here's the pace. Blast it near post, Rashford. There we go. 1-0. 1-0. No, well, I don't think Arsenal's in a bad spot, personally. I think they signed a couple players here. So they have to kind of rechange their mentality. I think there are times where teams when they don't have Europe, they can then come back and surge to the top, which I think Arsenal can do. They're looking at Ben White, who I think is a decent player. They're linked to Locatelli, although I think he's probably going to end up going Juventus, but he would be a good signing in midfield. And then if they can, lock down players like Smith Rowe and whatnot, then they should be okay. Ball to the back post. Rashford for number 2. That's a great ball. 2-0. I think the last manager was way better than this one. I mean, that's... Unai Emery is a very... He's a very Italian manager, even though he's Spanish, which is kind of weird. He gets a lead and he sits on it. He's pragmatic in that way. So out the gate, he'll go very offensive, which can lead to defensive vulnerabilities, which United didn't do, take care of in the first in the opening stages of the game, and then that's why it ended up being 1-1, and they won on penalties. But I still don't think Emery was up for the job either. I think Rashford's offside, and the keeper just took one in the face. With Arsenal, the thing is with Arteta, can he play that tiki-taka style of football? The problem is they need somebody who needs to come in and basically take the mantle of creator. Now, whether that's Smith Rowe, whether that's they get Odegaard back on loan, then that's what they're gonna have to change. I think they need someone on a consistent basis who can create. And they need fullbacks who can create if they want to be able to play, similar to Pep Guardiola's system, because everything comes from the fullbacks holding the width and chance creation by overloading in the midfield. Because you see Cancelo's, he steps into the midfield, creates overloads there. Then they switch it to a flank where Sterling or Mars is holding the touch line. And then they create problems there, and they gotta, be good at, passing quick. All right. Gotta win the ball back. Play it back to Maguire. See if we can play out from the back here. There we go. Should be Greenwood down the line here. Dribble inside. Martial's dropped off the line. Good bit of movement there by Martial. Can he slip in Marcus Rashford? Ooh. I'm a new fan since October 2020. Oh, so you just started following football. You came at a very interesting time to start following football. Obviously, with fans back in the ground, it's obviously way better. Way, way better. Hopefully you've been watching the Euros. The Euros are very exciting. Here's Martial. Martial's bursting through the middle. And that's 3-0. Doing a good job here. We're doing a great job here. 3-0. 3 away goals. Should be job done. And like I said, Atalanta, they're going to be burnt on the counter. We just got to park the bus and just hit them on the break. Not park the bus, but be astute defensively. Play in a low block. When we get the ball, move it quick, move it vertical, and then hit them on the break. Rebic had to leave Spain. Had to leave when Spain was attacking. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, and like they conceded a goal or something? I guess you're talking about Croatia, the 4th goal that Croatia conceded to Spain when Morata scored. I actually was watching the game. It was 3-1 at the time. I was like, okay, Spain's got this. Ball to Martial. Just can't get through. And then I had to go out and do something. Came back and was like wiping my eyes like, huh? What do you mean it's extra time and it's 3-3? Both the games that day was mental. They were absolutely mental. Locked off. Bit of a poor pass there by Martial. There's Malinovsky. He's had a good tournament himself. Ooh, good save, Dean Henderson. Quickly to Martial. Quick 1-2 potentially with Rashford. Martial. Ooh. Basically, Rebic left because he had to change shoes. I don't know how to say shoes for football in English. Boots. Football boots. Oh, and Spain was mid-attack, yeah. Speaking of mid-attack, I wasn't paying attention. And Atalanta's gone and scored. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me, but... Well, usually Rebic plays up front, so... I don't think he's going to be helping them out defensively too much. Right. 3-1. We let them in. 3 shots, 3 goals, which is nice. Gotta go. It's 1:40 a.m. Yeah, a lot of people tune in and it's very, very late because it's European times. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. And if you want to watch the rest of the VOD, we'll be posted over on YouTube. Ball to Greenwood. Can he get there? Nope. Can't get there. Ooh, that was close. Have a good night, Pickle. Falling behind it, Dan James. Right. We got to get another goal here. 3-goal cushion is what we want. 3 goals is usually comfortable. Although Barcelona thought that, and that didn't work out too well. Mind you, that was at home, so it's a little bit different. We'll see with away goals. It is a lot better if you have 3 away goals rather than 3 home goals. That should be Rashford onside here. And that's 4-1. Great stuff there. Perfectly executed. A great through ball by McTominay. And Rashford blasted past the keeper. 4-1. Rashford on a hat-trick. Rashford with a hat-trick, rather. That's exactly how the game plan was supposed to go. I think Martial's offside. Yep, just offside. Great little finish, though. Great finish. But yeah, this is exactly what the game plan is. Keep it compact. And Rashford scored again. Didn't even look like that was going in. 5-1. Yeah, this tie's over. This tie's over.
Rete dello United con il numero 10 Marcus Rashford.
De Roon, Freuler. A lot of players playing in the Euros on Atalanta. It's Muriel, who hasn't touched the ball. Gosens. He got knocked out just recently too. Here's Lindelof. He's going to stride forward. Finds Scott McTominay. Sends Mason Greenwood on his way. He's going to whip the ball across. Rashford for a 6. Oh, that's a terrible header. He knows he's missed a big chance. We are comfortable. Atalanta didn't know what hit them.
Fuori con il numero 18 Ruslan Malinovskyi. Dentro con il numero 10 Wout Weghorst.
A bit of defensive work from Telles coming in field. Bruno playing center back. Here's Bruno on the counter. Plays in Martial. Martial. Ooh, just nicked off it there. Gosens clears. Ball in behind. That's going to be too long. Great ball across. Dan James. Ooh, couldn't play it to Rashford. Won the ball back. McTominay, quick pass. Ball into Martial. That's a great finish. 6-1. I can play the reserves. It won't matter. Rashford with 4. Martial with 2. Exactly what we wanted. An absolute battering.
Con il numero 9, Anthony Martial.
This tie is done and dusted. And to think, when I first swapped it over to Legendary, I got beaten 4-2 by Liverpool. Wasn't even close. They were threatening the whole game, and now I'm just smacking up teams 6-1. Almost 6-2. Almost 6-2. But Dean Henderson was there. That's what we pay you for, Dean. Get your head down on that, McTominay. Or Dean, you can get your fist on it. There we go. He scored their only goal. Well, that's a crazy acrobatic attempt there. Out for another corner. Oh, Dean Henderson came for it. And we conceded. Got to be a bit more assuring there, Henderson. You're gonna come for that ball. Don't go halfway and then I'm headed in the net. That should do it. 6-2 is a crazy scoreline. Crazy, crazy scoreline. Match ball obviously goes to Rashford because he scored 4. Right. Let's see what they ask. Best performances in Manchester United history. It's probably up there. 6-2 away from home. Our fans deserve to see us reach a final in style. See? The manager knows. Good preparation. I mean, I said it before the game. We'll go 4-4-2 and we'll hit them on the counter. That's exactly what we did. I think Rashford's going to be the Champions League Golden Boot winner by this point. Right. Now we've got Fulham in the league. Arsenal have been playing pretty well. I'll think about it. Right. Fulham in the league. Let's see where we are in the league. So, how are we doing? So we have 4 games left, and we're up 7 points? 7 points, right. Fulham are 12th. So we don't need a full strength team. We'll put De Gea back in goal for this one, because we'll just put Dean in the we'll put Dean in the Champions League game. Just get him a little mix of both. For Fulham, they're probably going to try to defend. We'll play Cavani. Formation-wise, we'll just go back to our usual 4-3-3 holding. What we'll actually do is we'll play Martial on the left. Where's Diallo? Diallo's already on the pitch. Good. Diallo on the pitch. We'll put in Twenty. I mean, Bailly's fine. Brandon Williams is fine. We'll put in Paul Pogba. Put McTominay and Matic. And we'll give the captain's armband Who are we going to give captain's armband to? Let's give it to Pogba. Why not? And we'll just put Tellez on everything. Let's go for that and see how that goes. "25 goals in the Premier League, top scorer." Cavani doing well. There we go.
There is how Manchester United won.
Right, here we go.
Enjoy the game.
Oh, that's not a very good pass, Tellez. Not the best of starts. Miss anything, hopefully. Anyway, back to where we were. Here is Cavani. Just can't get the ball. Blocked off. Want to throw, I think. Good little pass there. Matic. Sees Diallo. Ball in the back post. Offside. Unfortunate. Header one. Can Pogba knock it down? Nope, he cannot. Tete, now Ream. Looking for Adamana Lookman, who's got acres of space here. Brandon Williams closes it down, though. And Twanzabi's come across. Kearney. Stop there. Tomini plays it inside. Yep. Very, very short passes there. Ball played in behind for Martial. Martial just tries to skip past Tete, but can't. Lookman looking for the opportunity and space again. That's a poor pass inside by Brandon Williams. Hey Hoxton, how's it going? Not many people comment, but I have to really say I appreciate your Man United career mode. Yeah, it's not necessarily about the comments and whatnot. If people want to watch it, they want to watch it. I'm just having a bit of fun. Not many people like Man United. A lot of people do like United. But also there's a lot of people that play FPL or watch football that have no interest in FIFA as well. But I thought it'd be a little bit of fun during the off season. Here's Martial. He's got acres of space here. Martial's going to go on his lonesome. That's a great finish, Anthony Martial on the counter. A fantastic finish by the Frenchman. All the time in the world. Tete had come centrally. And Martial was free to do what he wants. But yeah, a lot of people are going to like the FPL content coming soon. That's going to be starting next week. Videos Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. We got a little announcement with that as well, which I think you all appreciate. So, yeah. Looking forward to the FPL season. Looking forward to the rest of the Euros. My team's up tomorrow. 8 p.m. UK time. Italy plays Belgium. It's going to be tough. It's cool how you keep it up. Fair play. Yeah, just try to do things that you enjoy. There's never any point of doing anything that you don't enjoy. It just doesn't make sense, right? Just doesn't make sense. Somehow Matic is bursting through here. I'm not sure why Matic is making the run. Pretty sure I told him park his tail on our own 18-yard box. But I could be wrong. Yeah, why? Like, Matic is playing so far up. There we go. Here's Cavani. Could find Martial. Ooh, good save by the goalkeeper. Here is McTominay. And one back by Cavani. Good bit of play there. Pogba cuts inside. Can't get the shot away. Blocked off by Anderson. Here's Anguissa, who's come on the pitch. Tellez harrying the defender. Ball played in. Diallo could be in 1v1 here. Has a touch. Just too heavy. Just too heavy. Use your Limitless and Wildcard. I'm not actually playing Euro Fantasy. I played the World Cup one in 2018? 2018? Must have been 2018. I didn't really like it. I found that the Euro one was very similar. I didn't really like it. So, yeah, I decided just enjoying the Euros, just watching them. Just having a bit of fun. Well, that's a great little ball inside by Cavani. Paul Pogba could be in here. Great save by the goalkeeper. Thought I did. I was thinking about it. But then I was just like, you know what? First international football in a while. There's going to be fans in the stadium. Let me just enjoy it and not have stress of FPL. Take a little bit of a break. I mean, FIFA was stressful enough. I've been trying to beat Solskjaer's tally. But yeah, then I would have to make videos for it, and then the FPL season would have been, like, would have clashed with it. But yeah, just thought I'd take a break. I mean, maybe, you know, when the World Cup ones, you know, maybe I'll do that one, see how it is, but yeah, we'll see. Up to 20. So is in you're 20th in the world? You're 20th in the world. That's very good. I don't know how many people are playing, but that's really good. That's really good. I don't even know what you get for, like, top 10 and stuff. Or if there is any rewards, but yeah. Right, we're up 1-0. That should be halftime. Controlling the game quite easily. Controlling the game quite easily. Right. City's winning. They're beating Leicester. Yeah, if we get 3 points in our next 2 league games, it's over. We win the league because we have 7 points with 4 games to play. Unless Liverpool drop points. Ooh, that was a very good attempt for attempted through ball. Just playing for fun. So when you say you're up to 20, does that mean you're up to 20th in the world, and you're playing for fun? In which case, then you're doing really well for playing for fun. Here is Cavani. Ball out to Diallo. Here is Lookman. That's a terrible ball. Terrible, terrible ball. Pogba takes it on the half turn. Martial plays it into Cavani. Looking for runners. Finds Scott McTominay, who has a shot, and that's a goal for Man United. Good stuff by Scott McTominay. Easy pass through. Gap wider than the Marianas Trench. I think that's what it is. The deepest trench in the ocean or whatever it is. Here's Paul Pogba. Great little pass there. Inside. And it's Diallo. Diallo scores. Or Ahmad is his name. That's the name on the back of his jersey. I gotta stop calling him Diallo. McTominay with the assist. Ahmad on the score sheet. Like these vids, probably proper chill out with them. Really appreciate them. Yeah, you just get to chill out and smash Fulham. But yeah, anytime somebody comes in the channel and has a little chat, I'm always down to talk about pretty much anything. Obviously within reason. We don't want to go crazy, but as long as within legal realms. Oh, Martial. Oh, that's a terrible pass. Not sure what I was doing there.
Substitution for Fulham. Coming off the pitch, number 14, Bobby Reed. Coming onto the pitch, number 15, Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
And we get the ball back. Pogba, Cavani, blocked. Matic trying to harry in midfield. Here's Kearney, Loftus-Cheek, Tete. Man U players in your FPL this season, there is a dilemma. Depends on how much Sancho comes in as. That's the real interesting one, because Rashford and Cavani, Rashford is going to be out for, I think, a month at the beginning of the season or so. It depends on how long his healing process takes for, like, his back and shoulder. Like, he's got to get some surgery or something done. And that requires him to miss time at the beginning of the season. So we'll see Sancho on the left a lot at the start. Ooh, Cavani almost got it off the goalkeeper there. So Sancho comes in at 9.5. That poses a problem. Because then you're thinking about Sancho with the fixture. Sancho, Bruno double up. Could be looking at that. And there's so many 4.5 million defenders. Like, do you really need Trent? You know, do you really need... like, these premium defenders? Like, Shaw's price is good. Dini's price is good. Trent's price is good. But if you have attackers that are just so good, like, up front, in midfield, so many good 4.5 defenders, I mean, it's looking pretty good. Hey, Shanzuka. How's it going? I'm doing fantastic. I hope you're doing well. I'm glad that the Euros are back tomorrow, but I'm a bit nervous because Italy plays tomorrow, and that's my national team, so... Sancho over Trent? I think so. Martial? But it depends. If Sancho replicates what he did in the Bundesliga and came in and started like how Bruno did, I mean, United's going to be the most threatening team in attack in the whole league without even question. Like, we may not be able to defend as well. But, front three, when everyone's fit, of Sancho, Rashford, Bruno, and Cavani, I mean, you're looking at just... you just need to get them the ball. Just tell Fred and McTominay, play the ball 10 yards to Bruno or Sancho or whoever and get them the ball. Cavani almost got in there. But I think with Liverpool's fixtures off the start too, Trent's looking pretty good. But there was worries that Salah wouldn't start the season because of the Olympics. There's Paul Pogba. Played into Cavani. Has a shot. Ooh, just wide. Yeah, it depends on what Sancho comes in. If he comes in at 9.5 million, there's definitely an argument to be had. Whether it's him or Rashford. But obviously, like I said, Rashford at the beginning of the season, he's probably not going to be there. I'm scared Sancho plays like Werner. Now he's in the Premier League. Well, Werner is like, he's a bit weird. Cavani, straight at the goalkeeper. Werner's weird because he's not a striker, but he's also like an out-and-out left winger. He's like a left inside forward. When he was really good at Leipzig, he basically played in like a front two, kind of. But basically he had somebody who could knock the ball down for him. Here's Cavani and a good chance. Oh, that's a ridiculous finish. That is an absolute crazy finish. Right in the joint of the post and the crossbar. Watch this for a finish. Good feet by Paul Pogba. That's just an absolutely ridiculous finish. You don't get much better than those. And the breakdance is definitely worth it. But whereas Sancho will get chalk on his boots. He'll stay on the wing and then he'll cut inside and then he'll swap flanks. He's not like Werner who's like trying to go in behind. Like Sancho's like decently quick. But he's not like Rashford, whereas Rashford, like, you can stick him out on the wing and you just have him keep making the same run from out to in, 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 and playing the ball in behind. You know? But I think Sancho will do well. I think Werner next season would do well as well. Don't really need to do a post-match interview for that. We're definitely not doing a training session. Because that would be suicide. Ahead of a 2 days, 2 days before we'll do a training session. Just do 2 recoveries, and then we'll be a-okay. See what Martial's saying. Thanks for listening to me. Great performance, I'll tell him. I think Cavani might be under the radar at the start of the season. Well, that's another thing. Cavani might not be. He might not be. He might not be playing from the start. Basically, is what I'm trying to say, because of his involvement with the. Not Nations League, Copa America. I think his vacation time might, make it a little bit more difficult for him to get back to fitness after that's done. We'll put Bruno, put Fred, put Martial, Dan James, Rashford, Greenwood. And we'll put in Dean Henderson. Worked last time, so let's go with it again. We're up 6-2 on aggregate, so I think we should be fine. I think we should be fine in this one. But, yeah, Rashford and Cavani will probably not be involved in the Rashford probably more so than Cavani. Cavani might miss out like the first week, like game or two. Rashford will probably miss at least until the first international break. I think he'll play from day one. He's been great in Copa America. He's the best they got. Well, the thing is, it depends on how much, because like there's something like you need to like mandatory players need 2 weeks vacation or something. So I don't know how far the Copa America goes or how long it goes for, or when they can be knocked out. But I don't know. And then the travel time to come back. I don't know the logistics of that. But from what I'm hearing is that, apparently Real Madrid and Bayern, it was 4-4.
Thank you, Old Trafford.
Goodness me.
Enjoy the game.
But, yeah, I don't know the logistics of it. But I heard that he was potentially not going to play like the first game week or so. Which would mean Martial is a shoo-in. Him, Greenwood, Sancho, front three. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Greenwood playing through the middle. Sancho on the right, Martial on the left. Or Martial through the middle, Greenwood on the right, Sancho on the left. Or Sancho false nine, Greenwood on the left, Martial on the right. You can do whatever you want. Now, Gosens is in here. Don't have to rush with the goalkeeper. Conceded. I mean, we do have a 4-way goal cushion, but don't want to be conceding early. Don't want to be conceding early. Even so, I can see Cavani playing first game with Sancho. I mean, that would be very nice. Sancho on the right, Martial on the left, Cavani through the middle. That would be pretty good. That's the thing, what I think is going to happen now. Here's Martial. Looking to get involved. Misplaced pass, though. Is that we now have 6 players that can play in like all positions across the front three. So what you should have is you should have a system. Good ball by Martial. Dan James, can he whip a cross in? Rashford, ooh, that's a great clearance by the defender. You have Sancho and Diallo. Oh, here's Wan-Bissaka. Ball across. Rashford, near post. Great save by the goalkeeper. You have Rashford and Martial fighting it out for the left wing spot. You have Cavani and Greenwood fighting it out for the striker role. The number 9 through the middle in a 4-2-3-1. And then you have Sancho and Diallo on the right-hand side. And you still have Dan James, who can play both wings. You have Martial, who can fill in up front. Rashford can fill in up front from time to time. Sancho can also play left wing. Diallo can play left wing. We still have Alanga, who's very talented. Some of the pictures he's been posting as well shows that he's in pretty good condition. And he did a box jump, which I'm pretty sure he could jump like twice my height. Based on what I saw. Here is Wan-Bissaka. Ball played back. Greenwood. Just couldn't get there. And now with Sancho on that side, on that right-hand side, it makes Wan-Bissaka much more of a threat. Because before Wan-Bissaka, 1v1 attacking-wise, he kind of get found out by most people. But if Sancho takes both of the defenders, and here's Martial, got the goal back. Can't be losing at home again. We lost to Inter last time. We ain't losing again. We played 2 Serie A teams in a row, actually. Yeah, Sancho can easily make 2 defenders come after, in which case Wan-Bissaka's open. And Wan-Bissaka, doesn't matter, I don't matter, you know, how he's playing that day. If he's open, he can probably make a decent cross. He's a professional footballer. And he's young, so he can always, you know, get better at it. But I think having a... Fred somehow making the run in there. Yeah, I think it's just getting that relationship. Like Rashford and Shaw's relationship is really good. Also, if we get Varane, something that's not very talked about too much, so if we get Varane plays right-sided centre-back, which means Maguire and Shaw don't have to change their relationship at all. They play the same way as they normally play and improve that way. Whereas if we brought in Pau Torres then has to... He's going to play on the left-hand side, and Maguire gets shifted across, and then has to learn a relationship with Wan-Bissaka. So, it's all about relationships on the football pitch. You need to become telepathic. Bruno. Just don't foul him. We should be alright. Don't let him get in the box. Quite tricky here. Wan-Bissaka wins the header. Maguire. Oh no, Bruno, sorry. Here is Greenwood. Greenwood slipped his marker. Trying to play it in. For me, it's Cavani, Sancho, Rashford / Greenwood. Cavani isn't going to sign another year if he's not going to play, to be fair. That's true. Well, I mean, Cavani's contract is only 1 more year, and then he's then he's probably done anyway, or at least he'll probably want to move back home. I think the only reason he's staying is because of you know, playing in front of the fans is just, it's different, you know, and the United fans haven't seen Cavani at all since he's been there. And to be fair, haven't seen, Bruno's only played a few games in front of the fans too, which is crazy to think about. Because we got Bruno at the end of January. He came in, played a couple games, then COVID happened, and then fans weren't allowed on the ground, and he's only probably seen a couple more games with the fans than Cavani has, to be honest. Maguire playing in Rashford. Ball across the back post. Greenwood with the strike. Just blocked off. Well, I think the most important thing that we need is something to displace the McFred ordeal. Martial, straight at the goalkeeper. We need someone in that pivot that's just going to be either one of two things. One, they're going to be just straight lockdown. So they're like an N'Golo Kante type. They're just what's called a destroyer. So very good defensively. Keep it simple. Move the ball quick. Get it to the players that you want it to go to. And pair that with a center back. You can then have Paul Pogba do what he does for France, which is play amazing, basically. They've gone and scored. Not too happy about that. This was the scoreline when we played Inter at home. Right before halftime, too. Very disappointing. But yeah, if we got someone who's straight lockdown, then we can have Paul Pogba in that position, in that pivot. Then you can have... So let's say we get Varane and... I'll just use Ndidi as an example. We're not going to sign Ndidi, but let's say hypothetically. You have your goalkeeper, you got Wan-Bissaka, who's now got a fantastic partner, Jadon Sancho, ahead of him. You got Varane and Maguire with Shaw. You got a lockdown CDM in Ndidi. You got Pogba, who has the license to roam out of the pivot and get forward. You have Bruno in front of them. You have Rashford on the right, Sancho on the left, or Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left, Cavani through the middle. You have a backup at left back, potentially a backup at right back. I think Ethan Laird potentially could fill that shirt. They're thinking about Trippier, but I think he's probably going to cost too much money, and rightly so. They just won the La Liga, for goodness sake. If Varane comes in, you have Bailly and Lindelof as cover, with Tuanzebe as like a fifth choice if he doesn't go out on loan. In central midfield, you have Matic for, who can play once in a while to back up like the Ndidi player. You have Paul Pogba and Van der Beek kind of vying for the same position. You have Bruno and, I guess, Mata, maybe. But Van der Beek can also play there too, I guess. That's a great ball. Martial, can he get it far post? That's a fantastic finish. Rooted the goalkeeper. 8-4 on aggregate. Defender just missed it. Martial, ruthless finishing. That's what we need to see more from Martial next season. Just like he was the season before. Ice cold. Not the season gone, the season before that. Just when he got in positions, he just put it in the back of the net. Where you'd bet your house on it. But what I want to see more of is I want to see more of Alanga. I want to see more of Diallo. I want to see more of Donny van der Beek. I want to see, if we get another midfielder, I don't want to see McFred being played every game. I want to see Pogba being played in the pivot if we get a proper midfielder in there, like a Declan Rice or Ndidi type player. And that's what I want to see. Do you think Martial is going in the summer? I don't think so. And my main reasoning is because he's on a boatload of wages. Plus, I think he has a good opportunity to cement himself a starting position if he does well off the start. Because remember, Rashford isn't probably going to be around for the first month of the season. At least. We don't know how long or how serious this surgery is, but it apparently needs to get done, and it's going to leave him time out, and he needs to take the right amount of time, because if he messes this up, it could ruin his career for, permanently, basically. he's on too much wages, to be honest. I mean, a lot of players are, to be honest. I think 300k for any player is just ridiculous. But I mean, you got like Messi and Ronaldo on like $1 million a week and stupidness like that, or whatever they're on. Players asking for 500k a week. Like, why? You don't need that much. And you got signing on bonus and agent fees and all that nonsense. Great save, Dean Henderson. Like 300k a week should be for like the top players. Like top players. I'm talking like De Bruyne, Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, those sorts of players. That's who you give those kind of wages for. Even Jadon Sancho, I think if we paid 250, that's way too much. I think 200k is probably about right because he's a generational talent. He's shown that he's ridiculously good. I think Martial's on like 200 plus a week. I don't know the exact number, but I think it's 200k plus a week. And if people are saying, oh yeah, he's going to be on loan to Spurs, well, Spurs ain't paying any of those wages. And that would just be to facilitate the Harry Kane deal going to City. And I don't think United's going to be on that wavelength. Is this Fred at the back post? Check Fred getting into a goal-scoring position. 3-2 United. Yeah, De Gea's wages 350k. Mind you, at the time, De Gea was arguably the best goalkeeper in the world. So that type of player, if you're arguably the best goalkeeper in the world, 300k wages, 350k wages, that is probably about right for me. If you're like top 3 goalkeeper in the world. Yeah, see, Fred makes runs in the box. He scores, man, I think he scored 3 goals. How many goals does Fred score in the Premier League this season? Oh, it's Champions League, never mind. I don't even know what game I'm in. All I know is we're winning 9-4 on aggregate, which is not an aggregate you'll see very often.
Number 17,
Fred. Probably should make some changes, I think. Let's switch it back to 4-2-3-1. We'll go Ollie special. Dan James has done enough. We'll bring on, speaking of McFred, we'll bring on McFred. We'll buy in for a little bit. And we'll give old Bruno Fernandes a rest. But yeah, unfortunately that sets the precedent. So like that's a problem that Christian Folk was talking about with Fabrizio Romano on his Twitch stream. Oh, we might concede here. That's a great save by Dean Henderson. Christian Folk was on with Romano on Twitch earlier today. Saying that like Goretzka's on like 5 million euros net a year, which is like peanuts. I don't even know what that works out to be, but if it's like, let's just say hypothetically it's 6 million euros net a year. That means he's getting paid 500k a month, which means he's getting paid 125k euros a week, which is like 80 to 90k a week in pounds. Which is nothing. But then they're looking to quadruple that, so. How do you think Bruno will fare in FPL this coming season? I think he'll do just fine. I think he'll do pretty much the exact same as what he's been doing. I think if anything, Bruno's going to be even more of a threat. Because now he doesn't have as much license to... Gotta get the ball in the box here. We gotta get the ball in the box. Good save, Dean Henderson. He doesn't have as much of the onus on him to create everything. Martial could be in here. Nope. Now it's going to be Sancho as well. Sancho's going to be pulling players. Like United's right-hand side, you could, if you were defending, you just ignored it. You took that extra man, and you just put it on... oh, here's Juan Mata. Juan Mata? Oh, not fast enough, Juan Mata. Martial. Mata. Yeah, the onus isn't going to be on Fernandes to create everything. And he's going to basically... So United typically when they attack is a 4... The 4 defenders where maybe one of the midfielders drops off and one of the fullbacks pushes out. Typically it's Shaw. So it's like a 3. Then Shaw pushes out. One of the defenders drops in to collect. And then the other the 3 attackers and Fernandes create a 4 across the line. So now Fernandes can basically just act as a second striker, which is good for FPL. And he's still on pens too. And Sancho won the most penalties in the Bundesliga last season, so that helps. Here is Mason Greenwood. See if we can get a little bit of action here. Greenwood into Juan Mata. Second shot, just wide. Just wide. Yeah, it should be interesting. Oh, great little ball there. Ooh. Hey, FMP, how's it going? Send a hug to Kudo. I don't... Who's Kudo? Unless I'm blanking out on the name. Not sure if you're talking about Cujo the dog. Like the scary dog. Yeah, FMP, I'm not sure who you're talking about there. Unless I'm blanking out on the name. I'm just spacing out on the name, potentially. Maybe I'm not reading. I'm not reading. But whoever it is, here's your hug. I can't really do it because the webcam or the green screen cuts me off, but hug, air hug, I guess. Yeah, I think Bruno is going to be quite dangerous. So Bruno or Sancho and FPL are both? I think it could be both, to be honest. I think it's going to end up being both. If Sancho comes in at 9.5, I think it's probably both. Don't need to talk about it. The leg was over. Don't need to talk about aggregate. Bayern won on away goals. So Real Madrid won 2-0 and Bayern won 4-2 at the Bernabeu. Interesting. I'm thinking about both, to be honest. But if we're going to go off you know, some basic rules in FPL, I think that you shouldn't jump on players that immediately come into the Premier League. Now, I don't know what this media press conference is about, but I think it's probably about potentially winning the league. Think about both and Cavani. I think that's probably a bit too much. Maybe a bit too much. Congratulations on a fantastic season from the club, Mr. Flame. You're now just one win away from lifting the title. The boys want to get it done right now. Yeah, Cavani, I mean, he could be, you know, swapping places with Greenwood / Martial. So there's always a risk there, in my opinion. But you know, Bruno's playing week in, week out. They ain't spending all that money on Sancho for him to sit on the bench. As much as Gareth Southgate does it, Solskjaer ain't doing it. But you know, the first name on the team sheet is Bruno Fernandes. You can guarantee that 100%. Bruno played 37 out of 38 FPL Premier League games last season. And the only game he didn't play was the last game of the season against the away game to Wolves, where basically Solskjaer played nobody, basically. So, and had we been in the title race, he would have probably played on that game too. We would have gone full strength. Right, last game of the episode, we're 7 points clear of Liverpool. And if we win the Premier League, So let's go on and do it. We get to do it against Leeds too. Oh, this is lovely stuff. Right. Hold on, let me check the calendar and see what the schedule's like. Okay, so we have 2 league games that don't really matter. And then we have the FA Cup final and the Champions League final after that. Right. So we'll play full strength pretty much in this one. We want to win. Mostly. Play mostly full strength. We can rotate a little bit because Shaw's obviously knackered. So we can put in Tellez. We'll start McTominay from the beginning. We'll play Dan James instead of Greenwood. Instead of Wan-Bissaka, we'll play Williams. Play Bailly. And yeah, that should be good. I think Cavani is first striker. He will play the first games before the Champions League fixtures. Yeah, on a week-to-week basis, if you're just playing one game a week, Cavani will probably start all of them. But this also depends on how Martial is rated into the team. Because we don't know. Does Solskjaer see Martial as the backup left winger? Does he see him as the backup striker? We don't know. Is Mason Greenwood going to be integrated more as the number 9 rather than a right winger? We don't know. Is Diallo going to play? We don't know. Now, we can win the Premier League. We can win the Premier League with 2 games left. Let's do it in style. Pilot Flames at the wheel. Here we go, Dan James getting in behind. Whips the ball in, Pogba. And Pogba's tapped it in. Easy stuff. Love to see it. Celebrating the goal like we won the Champions League final. Spilled by Meslier, I think. Pogba taps it in. Meslier does well to make the initial save, but didn't push it far enough away. And that's Pogba's 15th goal in the Premier League. Very good return. If Martial gets selected over Cavani, it's a joke, to be honest. Well, it depends, right? It depends on what your approach is. So, obviously, in a one-off game, who am I playing up front? I'm playing Cavani, obviously, because Cavani is a more naturally oriented striker as a 9. Bruno could be in here, and Bruno Fernandes has scored a second. Cavani with the assist. But it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for somebody who's potentially looking to get in behind, Martial's going to be that guy. If you're looking to whip crosses in, create chances that way, you're looking for Cavani. So I think they both fall for something slightly different. Like, you're not going to be, like, if you're against Leeds as an example, you probably want to play Mason, Greenwood, or Martial. But if you're against, like, Burnley, you're playing Cavani. Also in Europe, I think Cavani is a lot better because you don't necessarily need the pace, because in Europe it's a little bit slower tempo, and you need a lot more quality, and Cavani's definitely going to bring that. Speaking of Cavani, just lost the ball. Was giving you praise, Cavani, and then you went ahead and lost the ball. Whereas in the Premier League, you just need, like if you don't have pace in your team, like, you struggle, really. Pace and energy, you can just really struggle. And this is not necessarily true in all cases, obviously. There are exceptions to the rule. Here's Cavani, bursting through the middle. Finds Fernandes. 3-0. We're thrashing Leeds today. We're going for 10. I want double digits on the last day of the season. Leeds are going to get relegated on this one game. We don't like Leeds. Hold on, McTominay. Ball in. Cavani. Just couldn't squeak it through. Ball. Little dink pass. Tellez. Great shot. Dan James. Oh, he's flashed it across the goal. You're not going to convince me on Martial over Cavani, sorry. I tried. But it depends. We'll see how Martial comes back. Because if he comes back and finds out, hey, look, you know, Cavani's starting over me week in, week out, and he's sulking or whatever, then, you know, then maybe it's time to move on. If he comes back and he's like, I need to win my place back, and he does really well, then that's better for the squad ultimately. Here's Dan James trying to lift it. Cavani had the cross blocked off. Fernandez plays it near post. Bailly. Nope, can't get there. Dan James. Into McTominay. Who's just held it up. Plays it into Cavani. Good bit of movement. Oh, it's gone off the cannon off the post. Cavani with a great turn and shot there. Pablo Hernandez apparently still getting picked for Leeds. Alioski. Yeah, I think Cavani is first choice, for sure. But like I said, Cavani is first choice striker. Mason Greenwood is backup. Sancho's first choice right winger. Diallo's backup. Rashford's first choice left winger. Martial's backup. Ball across. But the craziest thing is that Martial can play left wing or striker. Cavani can play striker. Or the 9, whatever you want to call it. But you know what I mean. Rashford can play up front or on the left. He can play on the right, but he's not very good on it. Diallo can play left or right. Sancho can play left, right, 10, false 9. So a lot of interchangeability as well. That's a terrible ball. He has come out and had some fun here. Here's McTominay. Paul Pogba. Ball in behind. Rafinha. Great defending by Alioski. Good collection there to have. Good ball. Rashford in behind. Played across. Ooh, couldn't get it to Cavani. Couldn't get it to Cavani. Tellez come for it. Couldn't get there. That's a great tackle by Paul Pogba. Fantastic tackle. Clear it away. Maguire. Go on, Harry Maguire. Ball in behind, Dan James. Dan James with the pace. Whip to the back post. Rashford with the header. That's a fantastic header. That's almost a mirror of what Messi did in the Champions League final versus United. Their second goal, I remember Van der Sar reaching up for it. It was almost identical, but just on the opposite side. Messi was leaning back like this and headed it up and over Van der Sar. It's not a good final to remember, but that type of glancing header. 4-0. Absolute destruction. Almost half time. Come on, ref. How much more time are you going to give him? Leeds are going to be going into halftime licking their wounds. Down 4-0. Absolute battering. Pogba, Fernandes on the double, and Rashford. Good spread of goals, that. Cavani needs one, though. Thoughts on Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire this season? So, first half of the season, I thought defensively United was just ropey in general. There were occasions where United were okay, but still poor on set pieces overall, both offensively and defensively. At the back post, Rashford. Ooh. Second half of the season, much better. Still missed positions on set pieces. Oh, speaking of set pieces, Slabhead's got his head on one. You were just talking about him, and Maguire's gone and scored. I think that's his first goal of the season. Harry Maguire somehow bundled this into the back of the net. Let's see. Whipped across. Maguire heads it down. Good little finish, that. Maguire, 1 goal in the Premier League. That one. Big old slabhead. But basically what we need is we just need a set-piece coach to just tell them how to do set pieces. United can learn a lot from like, I'm pretty sure I can go and teach them set pieces. Better than what we did, defensively and offensively. Because our zonal just doesn't work half the time. Here's Cavani. Great save, Meslier. Ball across. Maguire. Ooh, Maguire was in again there, you know. But, and then Shaw's second half. Shaw's always been a more offensive-minded fullback. Obviously, he had that horrific injury several years ago, which kind of stunted him for quite a long time. And then he's finally come back into his own. He's finally got that confidence, which Solskjaer has given him after Mourinho tried to ruin him and say all kinds of stupidness. Poor play from Pogba there. But yeah, Shaw, I think my qualms have always been with our defenders is set pieces and our fullbacks defensively don't cut the cross off quick enough, so they don't go out to the defender with maximum urgency. And 2, when the ball is switched across, they always seem to be out of position. Here's Cavani. Can Cavani get a goal? He can. 6-0. And this game is definitely on Legendary. I had to check it last night as well. I keep checking it every time I go to finish. I'm like, is this on Legendary? It is. It is on Legendary. So, mind you, my United players are like jacked in terms of their rating. So like Bruno Fernandes is normally like a 91. He's like a 91 plus like 6 right now or something stupid. So I'm playing with basically like a team of the season team. But they're just United players. And also, I've probably gotten better at FIFA. I used to be rubbish at it. Maybe FIFA 21, I'm just better at FIFA 21. Yeah, Mourinho is a bit... He's... I think what really changed it for Mourinho was the second time going back to Chelsea. I think that's what broke the straw that broke the camel's back. He's just bitter. He just doesn't like to be wrong. Here's Cavani. Cavani, burst of pace, has a shot, saved by Meslier. We ain't making any subs. Bruno Fernandes, Cavani. Ooh. Dan James on the volley, nope. Williams, Fernandes, James, Rashford, James. Can't even say his name right. Agreed. Yeah. think that was about it. I think that was at the same time the whole incident with the team doctor and whatnot happened. If I remember correctly. He just became bitter. Like Mourinho's style of play, like if you want to do Mourinho's style of play, everyone has to be on board. And the thing is, at Porto and at Inter, he had that sort of pragmatism to him, but he still had the ruthless attacking when they wanted to do it. So like Real Madrid was a prime example, breaking records left, right, and center for goals scored and whatnot. I mean, it also helps to have the, have the GOAT on your team. There's Fernandez, can't get through. Elias going for a little walk. Never been the same since then. Yep. Football has surpassed Mourinho. Cavani couldn't spin inside there. Maguire wins the ball back. Paul Pogba. Rashford. Ball across. Dan James. Flips it towards the back post. Meslier catches. Header by Maguire. Rashford has the space opened up for him. Shot. Saved by Meslier. Meslier must have about 80 saves. Fernandez whips it in. Here is Rashford. Now I got to make sure not to take off Fernandez by accident, because last time in the Carabao Cup I took off Fernandez because he was knackered. And Dan James got the armband because he was the one who came on for him. And Dan James lifted the cup. I need Bruno to lift the Premier League. Ball to Fernandez. Cavani has a shot over the bar. "20 times, Man United." Back-to-back semis and 21 is coming. Brandon Williams, great defensive work there. Here's Bruno, balling behind. Cavani. Oh, Dan James, why'd you stop your run, lad? It's fine. We won 6-0. Clean sheet. Hopefully. Unless Pablo Hernandez comes up with something brilliant here. And that's it. 6-0. Champions, champions. Ole, ole, ole. Champions, champions, ole, ole, ole. 20 times, Man United. 21 times, I say. 21 times, Man United. Playing the Man United way. Yeah, see, last time at the Carabao Cup, Dan James had the armband because I subbed off Bruno, so Dan James came and lifted the Carabao Cup. I was like, yeah! Bruno's going to lift it. Because Bruno's our captain. Here he goes. Everyone's gassed. Here we go. Oh, yeah! We bagged 2 of 2 trophies. Champions of England. Carabao Cup winners. Can we win the FA Cup and be champions of Europe? Bruno's taking the cup home. Saying, forget you guys, I'm taking this with me. Fiones, ole, ole, ole. Can't wait for Man U this season. Yeah, it's gonna be lit. I think there's a lot. I think it's gonna be real interesting. Liverpool with a full squad. United now with Sancho and potentially Varane. City with fireworks caught me off guard there. I was like, what's that sound? Um, Chelsea with their team, obviously they're European champions. And then obviously City. If they get Grealish and Kane, I mean, it's gonna be difficult. Right. I think we're obliged to do a post-match interview. Congratulations to you and your team, you're champions, and you've clinched the title with games to spare. Have I been satisfied with this season? No, we didn't go invincible. Can't speak highly enough of the players. We still got 2 more trophies to win, and that's going to be next episode. We have 2 kind of nothing games, and then we have the quadruple to go after. We've already won the Carabao Cup. It's about desire. Was the double in my grasp? Yeah, but so was the Champions League and the FA Cup. We want to bring back the treble, and we're going to do the quadruple. Here we go. All credit to the players. But yeah, we have 2 kind of dead rubber games in the league, and then we have the FA Cup final, and then the Champions League final. So that's going to be exciting next episode. Because we want to win the quadruple. Let's change the schedule. Change that to recovery. I'm going to change that to recovery as well, just so I can do it normally. And then I'll just sim it up there, just so we get club saying we're not going to meet the youth target for the season, but we won the Premier League, so it doesn't matter. So what are they saying? Long term, within 2 seasons, sign 4 youth players to the senior team, play them in 20 matches after. Okay, yeah, we ain't doing that. Sign 3 players from North America. We ain't doing that either. But yeah, we're doing well. So the only thing we have left is 2 things. Well, one, the Premier League. Premier League's already wrapped up. The most we can get is 96 points, which wouldn't be good enough to beat Liverpool's 2nd place season when Man City got 98 points. But it would be pretty good. I think that'll be up there with Antonio Conte's Chelsea. I can't remember how much they got. But we scored 134 goals, which is kind of ridiculous, but obviously it is FIFA. But getting 30 wins would be quite nice. So City are barely hanging on to 4th. Spurs are doing well though. Chelsea have finally separated themselves from the relegation fodder. So it looks like Sheffield United, Newcastle, and Southampton could be going down. In the other competitions, Liverpool, Man United in the FA Cup final. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. We won the Carabao Cup. We can check our... So, in the 3rd round, we beat Arsenal. In the 4th round, we beat Newport County. Absolutely smashed them to bits. Quarterfinal, we had to beat City. That was interesting. That was an absolutely nuts game, as shown by the scoreline. Aston Villa knocked out Liverpool. In the semis, we got Blackburn and crushed them over 2 legs. And in the final, we beat Everton. What was our road for the FA Cup? So, round 3. Who did we get in round 3? Where's United? We got Birmingham. Pretty straightforward. Then there was some replays. Round 4, we got Blackburn. So we got Blackburn twice, which was interesting. Then replays. Liverpool won on penalties versus Spurs. Round 5, We got Crystal Palace. Our FA Cup run's been pretty kind. Round 6, we got Arsenal. So again, we got Arsenal in both cups, Blackburn in both cups. And Chelsea got knocked out. Then we got Wolves, which made it real easy because then Liverpool had to play City. Now we're playing Liverpool in the final. And then the Big Boy Cup. And funnily enough, the only time the treble's been won, United played Bayern Munich. And a little man named Solskjaer scored to win it. In the group stage, we won 5, drew 1. We went through. Round of 16. We got Marseille. So, pretty easy. Quarterfinal, we got Inter. That was quite tough. That was very tough. We did real good in the first leg. Not very good in the second leg. Then the semifinals, we got Atalanta. Pretty handily beat them. So only Serie A and French teams. Now we got to go up against Bayern Munich. That's going to be real fun. But yeah, we will be back tomorrow. So let me move over to the big screen. So that is it for episode 14. We will be back tomorrow for 2 kind of dead rubberish games where we will just play the youth probably. We have the FA Cup final versus Liverpool. And we got the Champions League final versus Bayern Munich. The last time and the only time that the treble was won, and that United won the Champions League before 2008 was in 1999, and they beat Bayern Munich. So, yeah, very fitting. We got to beat our all-time league rivals in Liverpool, and then Bayern Munich, our European rival, in 1999. So, hopefully we can bring home the quadruple. We've won the Premier League with 2 games to spare. We can get a max of 96 points. Which would be nice. We won the Carabao Cup, so we've already definitely done better than Solskjaer. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. EST, same time. If you didn't catch the stream, you can watch the rest over on YouTube. I'll post that a little bit later on. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and until the next one, take care.